How do you make this seem important to kids? One way, says Louisiana Superintendent of Education John White, is to give them a reality check.
What does your life look like if you're a high school dropout? What does it look like if you're just a high school graduate? What does it look like if you're a college graduate? You know, it actually looks like something profoundly different. It's a difference between making $75,000 a year and making $20,000 a year. That is a stark reality for that child.
That's the premise behind Choices, an anti-dropout program being launched in Louisiana by Rotary International.
What we're really accomplishing for kids is helping give them a view into the future, a view into their future lives through the person that's in there in the classroom, to help them realize what they could become if they were to make some positive choices in their lives as well.
Leo Muller is the executive director of Choices.org, which is based in Seattle.
Choices Education Group is a national social enterprise nonprofit, and we work in 165 locations in 40 states right now. We serve about 100,000 kids a year.
Muller says the Louisiana Rotary program is the largest initiative they've ever done, with a goal of reaching 23,000 students through the 2-day in-classroom workshops within the next year.
The Choices Workshop is designed for middle school kids. 8th grade is typically the grade level that we go into, and the goal is to help kids understand the consequences of dropping out of school, the opportunities of staying in school and pursuing their education, and we also introduce them to what we call skills for success, decision making, goal setting, time management, and using self-discipline to get where they want to go in life.
Members of the business community take training on how to conduct the workshops and then go into classrooms with the message.
When we go in and talk to these kids, we engage them in role plays and games where they are, we call it experiential learning, it's a common education term, to engage kids in the learning process so that they're experiencing our message rather than getting a lecture or a PowerPoint presentation or working through a workbook.
Muller says the program reaches kids in ways that teachers and parents can't because it's taught by members of the local business community.
Students will see them as, well, they're out in the real world. They know what it's really like. They're out there working and making a buck and trying to make it through life.
At 3 schools in Baton Rouge, Broadmoor Middle, Capitol Middle, and Bel Air High, they're trying a different approach. Broadmoor principal Dr. Denise Charbonnet says the Diplomas Now program is already working.
The first year I was here, we had a 50% suspension rate. With the assistance of Diplomas Now and the consultants that were sent in to assist us, communities and schools, and the additional resources, we were able to reduce that to 15%, which is about the national average.
Diplomas Now is a cooperative endeavor of Education's Next Horizon, Communities in Schools, City Year, and Talent Development, a program of Johns Hopkins University. Sarah Ross, team leader for the City Year Corps at Broadmoor, explains how it works.
You have talent development that pulls all the data, that knows everything about the grades, so we can know the information that would be needed to, do proper interventions.
City Year Corps members then focus in on the at-risk students and start what's known as NAG and Nurture.
The nag part could be like the constantly, are you going to class? You should be in class right now. Have you done your classwork? Did you do your homework? Those little things. But the nurture part is when they get an A on their test, or when they get a B on their test even, to congratulate them, to let them know that we're there for them. When something's going wrong, if they're not doing their work in class, we want to know why. Maybe there's an issue going on at home.
Ross says City Year Corps members are there primarily to help the kids with their academics, but have resources available through communities and schools to help with other problems.
So if there's something that they want to talk to us about that we really can't handle, we have social workers on campus.
That holistic approach is what makes the Diplomas Now program different, according to Dr. Charbonnet.
Diplomas Now brought the framework and the structure, including the added resources, to help us with the most critical issues we have here: attendance, behavior, and course performance.
City Year Corps member Jonathan Morris says it's clear that just being at school is a struggle for some students.
Oh, I know we bother them. We go up to them, they'll often put their heads down, trying to go to sleep, trying to zone out the teacher. Always come up to them and be like, hey man, just let's get up, do our work, let's make the best of this, we're here to learn. So, make sure they're awake, make sure they're keeping up with their schoolwork.
Dulcie Shepard, another City Year Corps member, says she knows they are making a difference with and for students.
It's just really nice to have a student get excited about math when maybe the few weeks prior they weren't too excited about it, and to see the progress that they've made just from the few months that we've been here.
Charbonnet says while it will be several years before they know whether this program in middle school gives students the impetus to keep at it until they get their high school diplomas, it has changed the culture at Broadmoor.
Diplomas Now has made a significant difference in everything we do here at Broadmoor Middle School.
For the Southern Education Desk, I'm Sue Lincoln.